Hello everyone, in this tutorial we'll learn how to use neomorphic design concept to build a beautiful mobile UI app like this. This would be a simple audio player, and don't forget to download the code below from the GitHub link. And once you do that, come to this project folder and make sure that you have this okay, come to this project folder and make sure that you have these two dependencies. One is for audio player, because we are going to build a simple audio player and would be using Neomorphic plugin, and it helps us a lot and saves a ton of work, because Neomorphic design from the scratch would be pretty difficult. And make sure that you do pub-get so to get the latest code and latest version. Okay, so let's go ahead with the code. And in the code you'll see that in your build method, in your my app section, we have this neomorphic app widget. That's what we return, and within it we have a defined theme mode, and which is light, and then we have other two themes. And the first one is this theme color, defines this theme color, like as you can see from this is the base color. And there's another theme mode, which is a dark theme, and it is different color, bit dark color, which we'll see later. At the same time they have this light source, and with this neomorphic plugin, this helps us to set up the light source and the depth. Otherwise, if you do it manually, everything on your own, that would take a lot of time and the process is a bit complex. Okay, and after that we have this my homepage, this app, this class, okay, and which is over here. And within it, if you installed it from the GitHub link, you'll have this kind of setups for audio player. By the way, this is the audio player. I have another complete audio player tutorial, which you can also check out from the below link. Okay, if you have questions, you can leave your questions, but this is not going to be an audio player tutorial. This is more about neomorphic design, how to use neomorphic design in your app. So that's what we would be doing with them. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is return a scaffold instead of a container. So we'll return scaffold over here. Okay, all right. And within the scaffold, a few things that, as you see, we want to put everything in the center of this screen. Okay, so everything would be laid out in the center. So first thing we want to do, we want to return a body property, and within body we'll return center property. Okay, yes. Before that, we also want to return the background color, set up the background color, and we'll set up the background color from our neomorphic theme. So just go ahead and call neomorphic theme dot base color, and we'll return it with a context from this context. So base color is pretty much basically the white color which we saw early over here. Okay, so this is the base color over here, this one. All right, okay, now let's go ahead and continue with this code section over here. Right, okay, so now we would be putting everything in the center of this app, in the center of this page. Okay, so that's why we'll have this center widget. And next we want to wrap everything within a padding widget. As you can see, we'll have a little bit of padding on both sections. So let's go ahead and call another property, which is child, and we'll be using padding widget. Okay, of course we need to define padding for this, so we'll call const edge all. So everywhere we'll use 20 pixels of padding. Okay, and after that, so these sections would be putting in a column section or in a column widget. So this would be the first row in the column, this is the second row in the column, the third row in the column, and the fourth row. Okay, so we'll return another child widget, and this would contain our column, and of course column takes the children, we know. All right, okay, so the first one would do is row, because we want to show these two buttons over here. All right, so now we'll be putting them in a row widget. So let's go ahead and call row, and once again row take children. All right, and now actually we'll start to use the neomorphic design from here, and which is also coming from our plugin. And the basic concept of neomorphic design is that you are going to use a lot of buttons. So your buttons you'd be wrapping around neomorphic button, okay, and which is shipped out of the box in the plugin. So just go ahead and call the new, okay, and just like any other button, it takes onPressed property. So let's go ahead and call it. And for now, the onPressed property would be empty, and then it takes style just like any other button. But in our case, would be use special neomorphic style. So PHIC style, okay, neomorphic style. Again, these things are all coming from the plugin. So if you install the plugin, they should be available. So don't worry about that. The first thing we want to take care of this shape. So what kind of shape we want? Okay, so we'll call sorry, it's annoying though, neomorphic shape. Okay, well, now neomorphic shape will have, you see we have few shapes here, concave, flat, and convex. For now we'll go with flat. Okay, all right. And after that, what else we could do? We can give a little bit of padding around it. So let's go ahead and assign some padding. So const edge insets all set 12. Okay, all right. And after that, we want to assign a child within it. Okay, so the child would be icon. So simply we'll pass an icon over here, and icon's favorite, say border. This is the icon we want, and we also want icon size. And then, okay, so for now we can go ahead and run it and see the result, what happens there. Okay, so yeah, so our neomorphic button is up there. As you can see, it's a bit different than the regular button we create. So this is the button we have, and all because this is all happening because of this neomorphic button and the neomorphic style. Okay, now of course we can set up the color here, but it already has a default color. For now we'll use the color is coming from icons color, and we are passing context. Okay, now this the function is already in your file. Okay, we'll explain it later. Well, this function is responsible for when you change the theme, and at the same time it changes the color of this button and everything else, which we'll see a bit later. Okay, so but right now we already have the basic neomorphic setup over here in our menu and in our code. Okay, so the core of this thing is that everything you have to, if you have buttons, your button should be wrapped around a neomorphic button. Okay, that's all you need. Okay, and then you also have to assign the neomorphic style. Now a bit of the style that we can change. So instead of flat, we can do concave, and you see it'll go inside. Okay, so it went down a little bit. We can also do convex. All right, hopefully you'll get the idea. So no, it came out a little bit, but for now we'll stick with flat. Okay, so that's what we have now. So this is the neomorphic design for our love button, or this love icon. So what we could do, we can just go ahead and copy paste this, and it'll save us a ton of time. And now let's go ahead and save it and see the result. Of course we have two buttons like this, but now we want some space between the buttons. So let's set up the space. So what we do, we'll call here main axis alignment dot space between. So we want there should be enough space between them. So let's go ahead and save it and see the result. Yes, so it's pushing at the end. But now another problem is that it's too up, so we want to put in the middle, right? So to do that, we can change here. We can set a property here, this one, main axis size dot min. So within this property, it will put really everything horizontally and vertically, everything in the middle. Okay, yeah, perfect. So now we are with this, and it's already looking very good, and I'm excited. Hope you are excited as well. Okay, so now over here we want this button to have a different kind of button, and we want this button to be a toggle button, because in future we would be toggling this theme color. Okay, all right. So now over here, just change the icon button. So what we could do, we could call a button, it's called, let's say, toggle. Okay, this one, right? All right, now let's go ahead and save it. Yes, perfect. So now we have a bit of different kind of button. Okay, and now one thing we could do, we can go ahead and use this on press property and change the theme color, because we want, once we click on this button, something different happens. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what kind of thing we can happen. So we'll call neomorphic, wow, this spelling is a bit annoying, neomorphic theme dot off context, and we'll check the theme mode over here. Theme mode, sorry, there should be a dot over here. Okay, and we are checking the theme mode, so we'll see what kind of theme mode we are using. So now we'll call once again neomorphic theme is using, let's see, I have a spelling error, is using dark. Okay, so if it's using dark, then we want theme mode dot light, theme mode dot light, light. Otherwise we'll use theme mode, sorry, theme mode dot dark. All right, so there should be capital T. Okay, and all letter. Okay, now perfect. So all it's saying that it's asking you to change the theme color, okay, based on that. So if you're already using dark, go back to light. If you're not using dark, then go back to dark. Okay, so let's go ahead and run it. Okay, now let's toggle on it. So as you see, it already changed the color. Toggle it back, toggle. So as you can see, we are changing our theme mode and theme color, and which I said earlier that we have two different kind of colors. One is light and another is dark. Okay, so they're up here, over here. Okay, all right, so now over here, this is the base color, and theme mode default is light, but we can change it to this base color and different kind of dark theme. Okay, so that's what we are toggling just now. So now let's go ahead and continue the coding. So it's over here. So now we are done with this thing. So the next thing we want to do is let's see what we could do. We could show this picture over here. All right, okay, so now once again this thing is pretty much done actually. So all we could do, we can copy paste this one, okay, and just change the icon of this picture and it would be good to go. All right, so but now, just now, these two buttons, let's see, well, now they're in the row column. So what do we want to do? We want to put another neomorphic button right below them. Okay, now let's go ahead and save it and run it, see the result. Okay, so this one. But now in this section we don't want any icon, we want an image. Okay, and that would be pretty easy to do. So let's go ahead and change this icon, and we can return a padding over here. Okay, all right, so now we'll set up a basic padding, const edge inserts all, set 20. All right, well, padding is not that necessary, but I feel like it's good to give some empty space around it. Okay, so now we'll use child, and within child we'll use a container, and within container we'll use another child property, and within this child we'll assign image asset. Okay, and our image asset is imgpic, say 3.png, like that. Okay, now once again these images are all saved here. Okay, you should have them in your project folder if you downloaded the link from this GitHub link I gave down the video section. So just go ahead and download them from there. Okay, so now let's go ahead and save it and see the result. Okay, now it's already looking better, much better. But now over here I want to have more 3D feeling. So instead of this flat, the size, the shape, we can change it to concave, and hopefully it will have much better looking, so it's more realistic now, or it's looking more obvious. Okay, all right, so we are done with this this section, and next what we could do would be drawing this slider. Okay, so let's go ahead and copy it. Okay, all right, So now what we do, we just copy this thing. Yes, it's already copied. And what do we need to do? First thing, we need to change this child over here. So instead of padding, what we could do, we could return slider. Okay, now what is this slider? This slider is the function that I have already in my code, which you should have as well. So this is a child, this is a widget. So as you can see, this slider is responsible for playing around this audio position, things like that. Once again, if you don't know what is the slider and how it works, check out the link below, and where I have described step by step how to build an audio player. So go back and check it. I'm not going to explain it over here. So anyway, so now let's go ahead and run our program and see the result. And the slider should be there, pretty good. Okay, yeah, slider is already working, but of course we need to start to play it. We are not doing that. Okay, now as you see, they're too close to each other, so we could assign we can create a distance over here using sized box. Okay, so we'll do height sized box, let's say 10. Okay, sorry, all right, or say 20, it might look much better. Okay, now over here there should be the same distance, a bit of distance, so we'll copy and paste it up there. Okay, now it's already looking better. And now what we could do, we can also toggle it and change the theme. Okay, all right, so the next thing we want to do is drawing this 3 buttons, and as we already learned, they're pretty easy, right? So we do them in a row widget, and all we need to do, just copy paste them. Okay, so it's pretty easy once we have one neomorphic button. Okay, and just copy paste them and change the icon and related function. Okay, so now let's go ahead and save it and see the result. Okay, it's all there, but of course the button width and height is pretty longer, so that's why it's showing this error. So we can adjust them. Okay, now let's see over here. So the first one is, so we don't want this one, and we want to have a different kind of child. We don't want a slider over here. We want to have, say, button fast, button slow. Okay, once again, this is the function defined in our file over here. You'd find it somewhere up there, like button repeat, button loop, button slow, button fast, and button play or button start. Once again, these are all I have a dedicated video where you can go ahead and watch them. Okay, so all you need to do, just change this child widget and you should be good to go. The middle one should be button start, this one, and the last one should be button fast. So now let's go ahead and save it once again. Okay, perfect. And now we need to create distance between each buttons. So over here we do main axis alignment, say space between. Okay, perfect. But now once again the distance, so we can fix this distance over here. Okay, so just create a distance. And now let's save it and run it. Okay, now what we could do, we could go ahead and run the program. Yes, it's already working, as you can see.
Chapter 16.
Yeah, you can stop it, you can run it.
Chapter 16.
And you can also toggle it from here. Okay, and you can fast forward.
Page 149. Vocabulary.
Okay, all right, so that's how it works here in this simple audio player. But once again, if you want to know more about the audio player, click out the link below. And but the main thing of this app is this neomorphic design, which I personally think very cool. And in my future tutorial, a lot of my own project, I'm going to use this one. Once again, the main thing of this tutorial is neomorphic design, and which is based on, say, this neumorphic button, and which takes few properties on press just like any other button, and we can style this button. We style this button using neumorphic style, and we can assign a child over here, and child could be any kind of widget. So that's the most important thing about neumorphic plugin or this design. Okay, so hopefully you learned something, and if you learned something, don't forget to smash that like button and share the video, and don't forget to subscribe. So I'll see you in next video. Thank you so much.